Jean's knees bent, and he jounced the limb. Finny lost his balance and swung his head around to Jean, then tumbled sideways, broke through the branches below, and hit the bank with a sickening thud. It was the first clumsy physical action Jean had ever seen him make. With unthinking sureness, Jean moved out on a limb and jumped into the river with every trace of his fear forgotten.
Oh my gosh, Finny!
No one was allowed near the infirmary during the next days, but people heard that Finny's leg was shattered. Jean couldn't figure out exactly what that meant, whether it meant broken or one or several places, cleanly or badly, and he didn't ask. The effect of Finny's injury on the masters seemed deeper than other disasters. It was as though they felt it especially unfair that it should strike one of the 16-year-olds, one of the few men who could be free and happy in the summer of 1942. Jean spent as much time as he could alone in his room, trying to empty his mind of every thought, to forget where he was, even who he was. Jean woke up the next morning and went to the infirmary to visit Finny. Oh, Jean, Finny's better. He could stand a visitor or two now, after these nasty few days.
You don't think I'll upset him or anything?
No, you? Why, no. I don't want any of these teachers flapping around him, but a pound or two, it'll do him good.
I suppose he's still pretty sick.
It was a messy break.
But how is he feeling? I mean, is he cheerful at all, or?
Oh, you know, Finny, it was a messy break, but we'll have him out of it eventually. He'll be walking again.
Walking again?
Yes, sports are finished for him after an accident like that, of course,
But he must be able to, if his leg's still there. If you weren't going to amputate him, you aren't, are you? Then, if it isn't amputated and the bones are still there, then it must come back the way it was. Why wouldn't it? Of course it will.
Sports are finished. As a friend, you want to help him face that and accept it. The sooner he does, the better off he'll be. If I had the slightest hope that he could do more than walk, I'd be all for trying everything. There's no such hope, though. I'm sorry, as of course everyone is. It's a tragedy, but there it is. Jean grabs his head, fingers digging into his skin, and the doctor, thinking to be kind, put his hand on Jean's shoulder. At his touch, Jean lost all hope of controlling himself and began to cry. Wait, oh, that's him. Just kidding. Now that's no good. You gotta be cheerful and hopeful. He needs that from you. He wanted especially to see you. You were the one person he asked for. Hearing that stopped Jean's tears. He brought his hands down and started towards Finny's room. He's in there. I'll be with you in a moment. The door was slightly open and Jean pushed it back and stood staring. Finny lay among pillows and sheets, his left leg enormous in its white bindings, suspended a little above the bed. A tube bled from a glass bottle into his right arm.
Come on in. You look worse than I do. What are you so sick about?
Finny, what happened there at the tree? That stupid tree. I'm going to cut down that tree. Who cares who can jump out of it? What happened? What happened? How did you fall? How could you fall off like that?
I just fell. Something jiggled and I fell over. I remember I turned around and looked at you. It was like I had all the time in the world. I thought I could reach out and get a hold of you.
To drag me down too?
To get a hold of you so I wouldn't fall off.
Yes, naturally, I tried. You remember. I reached out, but you were gone. You went down through those branches underneath. And when I reached out, there was only air.
I just remember looking at your face for a second. Awfully funny expression you had. Very shocked. Like you have right now.
Right now? Well, of course I'm shocked. Who wouldn't be shocked? For God's sake. It's terrible. Everything's terrible.
But I don't see why you should look so shocked personally. You look like it happened to you or something.
It's almost like it did. I was right there, right on the limb beside you.
Yes, I know. I remember it all.
Do you remember what made you fall?
I don't know. I must have lost my balance. It must have been that. I did have this idea, this feeling that when you were standing there beside me, I don't know. I had a kind of feeling. But you can't say anything just for sure from feelings. And this feeling couldn't make any sense. It was a crazy idea, I must have been delirious, so I just have forgotten it. I just fell. I'm sorry about that feeling. Well, what are you going to do? Hypnotize me?
Finny, I've got something to tell you. You're gonna hate it, but there's something I've got to tell you.
My God, what energy! You sound like General MacArthur.
I don't care who I sound like, and you won't think so when I tell you. This is the worst thing in the world, and I'm sorry, and I hate to tell you, but I have to tell you.
A few days later, Finny was sent home. After vacation was done, Jean went to go visit him.
Hi, who are you?
I'm Jean. I've come to talk to Finny.
Oh yes, he's been talking about you. So you are going to show up, and you brought me something to eat from down south, didn't you? Honeysuckle and molasses or something like that? Cornbread? You did bring me something. You didn't go all the way to Dixie and then come back with nothing but your dismal face to show for it.
I never remembered to bring anyone anything. I'll send you something, flowers or something.
Flowers? What happened to you in Dixie anyway?
Well, then I'll get you some books.
Never mind about books. I'd rather have some talk. What happened down south?
As a matter of fact, there was a fire. It was just the grass fire out behind our house. We took some brooms and beat it. I guess what we really did was fan it because it just kept getting bigger until the fire department finally came. They could tell where it was because of all the flaming brooms we were waving around in the air, trying to put them out. I was thinking about you most of the trip up.
Oh yeah?
I was thinking about you and the accident.
There's loyalty for you, to think about me when you were on vacation.
I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you and the accident because I caused it.
What do you mean, you caused it?
I jounced the limb. I caused it. I deliberately jounced the limb so you would fall off.
Of course you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Of course you didn't, you fool. Sit down, you fool.
Of course I did.
I'm going to hit you if you don't sit down.
Hit me. Hit me. You can't even get up. You can't even come near me.
I'll kill you if you don't shut up.
You see, kill me. Now you know what it is. I did it because I felt like that. Now you know yourself.
I don't know anything. Go away. I'm tired of you and you make me sick. Go away.
You'll be back in Devon in a few weeks, won't you?
Sure, I'll be there by Thanksgiving.
I've had an awfully long trip. I never sleep much on trains.
Don't worry about it.
I think I'd better get to the station. I'm already a day late at Devon.
You aren't going to start living by the rules, are you?
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that.
And that was the biggest lie of all.